Good morning, everyone. So I'm just going to give it a little bit more time and let some people join, and then we're going to go ahead and get started on the pre-market watch list in about 20 minutes. Good morning, everyone. So, like I was saying earlier, for the few people that joined, I am just giving it a little bit more time here, probably like 20 more minutes, and then we'll go over all the stocks here in pre-market that I'm watching. But in the meantime, we have 20 minutes. If you guys have any questions or want me to look over any stocks really quick, just let me know in the YouTube comments, and I can go over those. Right now, we do have some decent gappers though. BAOS, kind of more short biased on that one. NXTD, few others. SBEA here has no resistance at all on the daily chart so far. I believe we're at all-time highs. So there's definitely some potential. Also this WIMI that gapped up over this 570 level. Alright guys, so we'll give it about 15 more minutes and then I'm going to go over everything. So I will be back in a little bit. Good morning, everyone. Just a heads up, I'm going to start the pre-market watch list in just about 8 minutes. We got a few more people joining now. Also, guys, just a mic check on YouTube. Can someone just confirm that it sounds okay? I turned the volume up just a little bit more. So hopefully that sounds a little bit better. Alright, guys, I think that's good enough for now. We got a few people to join. Also, with YouTube, you can always just go back and listen to the recording again. So we'll go ahead and get started now. For the watch list this morning, as you guys can see, we do have a few gappers. OCGN basically been watching for the last, couple of weeks. That one's still in play from yesterday. It actually ended up recovering and holding this 14. Now we're pushing higher. We got a few other gappers as well. SBEA, which is at all-time highs right now. WIMI, W-I-M-I. BAOS, this one I'm actually have a short position on this one. I'm hoping that we can pull back to maybe this 230 level, and that's where I'll cover. If it ends up popping over 350, I'm going to have to cut that short. Give me just 1 second. Sorry, I got to answer some questions in chat. Alright, sorry about that. NXTD is another one that was on watch yesterday, so I'm going to go over all of these one by one, and I'm going to start off with what I had on my watch list for the members last night. So the first one on that watch list was OCGN. If you take a look at the daily, this is actually coronavirus type of stock. I believe OCGN works with like vaccines in another country. So looking at the daily chart though, we have a really nice flag on this daily. You can see all this consolidation we had at $7. We had a lot of consolidation. And then from there, once we broke this upper trend line, it started to hold, and then we got a secondary breakout. So, there's some big levels here. We got this big level towards 16. We have another big level towards 18. Um, right now, I really do have an open bias on OCGN because, it's been holding up so well. As long as we're holding above this 1440 level, I am bullish on OCGN, and so far we held that level and broke out again. So we'll have to see what happens. I'm gonna guess that it's probably gonna push a little bit higher towards the open, but we'll see. Some big levels though to keep an eye on. Let's say if you're long and you're holding, I would definitely probably try to sell some into these bigger daily chart levels if we get there. So OCGN, that's definitely gonna be a main watch today and over the next few days most likely. The next one on my watch list from last night was NXTD. NXTD looks pretty weak right now. I actually got shares to short this morning, but I don't think I'm going to get the chance to use them at this point. Looking at the daily, I was hoping that this could make a bigger move, and then I was going to be probably more interested in a short against these daily chart levels. There was that support towards 650 that we kind of rejected. Let's see how high we went in pre-market. So we actually went all the way to $8 in pre-market, and now we're all the way down at $5.50. So yeah, it made a pretty big move there versus $8 in pre-market and faded back down. So for this one, it is looking pretty short biased at the moment. We broke this 570 support. So I'm probably not going to short this. It might have room to like $5 on this breakdown, or potentially even 470s. So it definitely has room to fade. I don't want to chase into weakness, and then because a lot of times towards the open they'll recover and then start to push back up. So probably gonna miss out on this one. Maybe like a 570 entry would have been okay, risking off 6, but I just don't want to chase it down here. So unfortunately, probably gonna swallow that borrow fee that I paid, but it's not a big deal. So NXTD bearish at the moment unless it gets back over 6 later on. BAOS was the next one on the watch list. This one I'm holding short. I actually got short in pre-market. So far it looks pretty good. We broke that 280 support. I'm really just trying to cover down here like towards 230, so I just need one more flush to cover. If it pops over $3 after or towards the market open, then I'm probably going to end up just cutting it and then kind of reevaluating from there. But if I get a flush down to these bigger levels, I'll just cover my whole position. So this one I'm short biased on, BAOS. I really wish this move happened a little bit later. This was at like 2 in the morning my time, so I wasn't able to get these better entries. I got in more towards this $3 area on this breakdown. But so far it looks good for shorts. We'll see, if it comes back towards the open, but I think it's more likely to just fade a little bit lower. Few more from the watch list. BBLG, I posted this one last night because we were gapping up. It's already fading down, so probably nothing there. I'm just going to go ahead and set a price alert towards like $8 and $8.50, and then if it spikes over those levels later on, I'll definitely keep it on watch. Other than that, not really too interested at the moment. Same with SABS. This was the other gapper this morning. Same type of deal. Not really interested in chasing the short down here. It looks kind of bearish though. But if it pops over 11 and starts to build above that level, then I definitely would keep an open bias. Oh my, sick move. Sorry guys, I'm I'm actually in this other trade. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. This Jasmy, for those that trade crypto, this thing's just going crazy right now. I actually bought this at 0.13. Really good timing yesterday. I got kind of lucky. I just kind of pulled up the chart and noticed that it was breaking out, and I bought it right around here. So I'm up, you know, over 100%. I already scaled out some in the 24s. I just sold some in the 34s, I believe. I had an order out, so hopefully that got filled. I gotta check that in a moment. But really nice chart there. Getting a bit extended though. I've been getting into crypto a bit more because there's been a lot of action there as well lately. Maybe I'll make some videos going over some of the trades that I take there later on. But I have a lot of plans for YouTube to be more active. And today is just kind of a start. So you guys will see me be a lot more active on YouTube Live. But yeah, let's get through this watch list. I have a bunch on my secondary watch list from last night. Let's just scroll through these really quick. A lot of these aren't in play anymore. BKKT, this was an amazing short yesterday. I actually caught this from, I took a loss right here, and then I reshorted and caught this. My best cover was right around here though, so I left a lot of room, a lot of profit on the table, but that's okay. But I'm still gonna kind of keep this on watch. BKKT. BTTX offered an amazing fade yesterday as well after that morning run. But that was pretty much my watch list from last night. Let me just pull up some of these gappers and we'll see if there's anything else that I missed. I know I still have to go over WIMI. Went over BAOS. Went over this one. Wow, SBEA is really going crazy right now. Like I said earlier on this one, there's absolutely no daily chart resistance. 995 was all-time highs. So right now on SBEA, we're basically in, you know, uncharted territory. But we are getting a little bit extended here, running up towards the 13s. Also with my broker, this is actually easy to borrow, so I don't have to pay a borrow fee. So there's probably a lot of supply here. Hopefully it can run up higher, get really extended, and then I'll probably look for a reversal. At this point in time, I'm just, I really don't want to buy it and chase it up here and then have it dump. So you guys got to be really careful with that. Like when it held VWAP and it had this flag, that would have been a decent entry, I suppose, or maybe even this flag here. But right now we're just getting really extended. So we'll see how high that one can push, SBEA. Definitely not something you want to step in front of until it really tops out and puts in lower highs or gives some type of setup. Yep. NXTD is just fading towards 5. WIMI, this is the one I wanted to go over really quickly. WIMI. Checking the, I just checked the filings on this one on Flash SEC. They do have about 500 million in remaining shelf value on one of their S3s. So this could potentially have dilution later on. Potentially. It is a bigger float, like 60 million. Let's take a look at the daily on WIMI. So looking at the daily, you can see that we do have a big level here towards 6, another big level towards 650 and 7s. So there is some bigger levels, I would say more towards like 7 and 8. Those are probably the bigger levels on the daily chart. You can see this 570 was resistance a few days ago, and now once we spiked above that, that same 570 level actually turned into support. So that's a very bullish signal there. If previous highs turn into support, and so far it is holding and trying to flag. So we'll see if this can potentially give us a setup to break out even higher, or we'll see if this just ends up breaking under 590 and forming these lower highs. If that happens, then we'll probably see a pullback back to this 570 support, and then we can kind of go from there. It's getting a little bit extended. This is another one that I would probably just wait and give some time, and then kind of go from there. But it definitely has potential on the daily chart, so I kind of have an open bias on this one for now. ARTL, that's another one that I ended up shorting yesterday. But I think I pretty much covered everything here. Really nice move there on SBEA. But yeah, I pretty much covered everything. Star is probably going to hop on the mic pretty soon and go over his watch lists over on the scanner link on the public YouTube channel. So you guys can check that out. I'm probably just going to sit back for a little bit. We still have about 30 minutes until the market opens. I'm waiting to get some covers here on BAOS towards 230s. We're getting really close. My order's actually right there at 234. So just a 20-cent drop and I'll be all done with that position on BAOS. I wish I would have used my borrows on NXTD. That ended up dropping nicely. But I think going into the open, I'm probably going to be more focused on this SBEA and this WIMI. Those are probably my top two for what I'm going to look to trade. But yeah, there should be a lot of opportunities today. There's going to be other stuff that pops up on the scanner, obviously. So I will be sure to kind of let you guys know what's in play and what pops up on the scanner as time goes by. Probably be on for the next couple hours. Like OEG is actually pushing up right now as well. Let's take a look at this daily. So yeah, I'm gonna sit back for a while and I will let you guys know if anything else pops up on the scanner. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, just let me know in the YouTube comments and then I will get back to you. And just a heads up, I ended up covering my BAOS short here at this 237 area. That was pretty much my target, was the 230s, so really nice move there. I told myself I would start waking up really early, like 5 in the morning, but this move even happened earlier than that. This was like 2 in the morning my time. Pretty crazy how early these things are happening, but nice move so far on WIMI. We're starting to break out above the 6 level, see if that can hold or not. And SBEA is just getting more extended here, continuing to hold for now. See if there's anything else popping up. You can see how SBEA is really extended here. It's probably going to pull back towards 13. We'll see though. It's really trying to hold this 1350 support. Alright, I am going to step away for a second again, but I will be back once the market opens. Alright guys, so far you can see that WIMI had that breakout above 6, but ended up pulling a lower high and breaking under 6. So I'll definitely be careful at this point on the long side. If you want to play it safe, you could wait for $6 to turn into support and let that build up. But if this starts to pull a lower high here and break under 580, it's not going to look too great. OLB is also on the scanner. Really big move there on the, let's take a look on the daily chart. 750 to 8 is kind of a level there. Wonder how much the shares are for OLB shares to short. Looks like they're 0.036. It's not too bad. The float, it is a lower float, around 4.5 million, I believe. Also on OLB, I'm looking at Flash SEC right now. They do have an S3 that's active with about 68 million in remaining shelf value. So just a heads up on that. When things do a lot of volume though, you know, sometimes dilution really doesn't matter too much. So if you look actually on the daily on OLB, that $8 is a pretty big level on the daily chart. So far it's trying to hold 8. It is pretty extended though. It's a pretty heavy pull there. It's still holding 8 for now. SBEA is still going, really hasn't pulled back. Ended up holding that 350 level. And like I said, guys, there's really no levels on the daily chart. Let me check the float on that one again though. On SBEA. So it should be around like 34 million. pretty big rejection there on OLB. And we're getting pretty close to a down halt here on OLB. I'm actually short in OLB, risking off those 850s. I'm probably gonna... I already took some profit here just towards 7. So I only have half a position left and we just halted. So I'm gonna try to cover the rest towards like the low 6s. So I think I'm gonna put an order out at like 630s on OLB. Just cover the rest. Only got half the size I wanted on OLB, which kind of sucks. What I did though was I took a starter risking the 850s. I took a starter in pre-market and then we got this pop and I was waiting to see if I was either going to get stopped out on that starter or if we were going to get a rejection, and we got a big rejection, so I started adding right here, but I didn't get my full fill. I only got half and then I covered into this drop, so we should get another drop here, I'm guessing towards the 630s after this halt. So hopefully I get that fill. SABS is starting to curl up over that $11 area that I mentioned in pre-market. So if we can build a base above 11, I'll definitely keep an open bias on that one. I'm going to take BAOS off of here because it already hit the targets. We'll see if we can find something else. I missed this one. I was telling you guys in pre-market, you know, if we get a lower high under 6, it's going to fade, and that's exactly what it did. That was a really good setup. OCGN trapping shorts once again. 1425, we got a nice rip off that level. So we'll see how it goes from here. If it can build a base above 1450, I would definitely keep an open bias still on OCGN. That one's been really strong the last few days. But yeah, you never want to chase these stocks, so just be really careful. PHCF is popping up on the scanner here. Let's take a look at the daily chart on PHCF. We got a lot of resistance in the 3s, 350s. SBEA is actually halted to the upside as well. BAOS is actually popping up on the scanner. Bounced off that basically 210 level. You know, I'm actually going to keep this one on watch again, just in case it bounces towards 3. But yeah, basically, these were the main short setups today. WIMI, and OLB so far. Really nice opportunities. SABS ended up rejecting 11 pretty harshly there, so nothing there really. I'm going to start scanning and see if there's anything setting up, anything else setting up as well. Alright, this should open up OLB. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's open now. Just trying to get one more flush to this 630 level so I can cover the rest, but it looks like it wants to bounce from here. Nice breakout on OCGN. Looks like SBEA might have just topped out in the 1550 area. That was really the first big pullback we've gotten on that one. I took a starter short on this SBEA, basically risking off the highs, really wide risk, because I don't know if it's going to bounce from here towards 15. Probably needs to bounce, so I don't want to have big size on the short and then have it bounce on me. So I'm just going to start in small. If it bounces and fails and I like it, I'll add to my position and hopefully get a breakdown. But other than that, I'm probably just going to leave it alone for now and let it chop around. If it just flushes though, I'll just end up taking some profit towards these lower levels. It still could try to recover, but after that big pullback, I think this could turn into a lower high. OLB is still trading at the 690 level. Hopefully that one stays heavy and gives me one more pullback. I'll cover a little bit more here towards 7 on OLB just in case it starts to hold up, but I'm going to save the rest. So far we're still heavy here on SPEA. I'm going to set some orders for probably like the 1250s or 1230s to cover SPEA. I added a little bit more, but I still don't have a full position on that one. I only have half position. Because I wasn't really watching it when it reversed, so I kind of had to chase it a little bit. So just had to go lower size, but I think I'll hit my targets here. OLB, I got out of that one on the rest of my shares. That was a really big reversal. I had a break-even stop, so covered most of it in the low 650s, but I did take the rest off break-even on OLB. And now I have an open bias. We'll see what it does from here. Actually, yeah, my covers were around 690s. Those were basically my best covers, 680s, 690s. But you saw that sharp reversal right back to that 750 level, which was my initial entry. And it looks pretty strong right now. It probably trapped a lot of shorts that didn't take profits. It's probably squeezing them out right now. SPEA is looking heavy, looking good. Getting really close to my target here. I have an order here at like 1230. If it gets really close to it, I'll just cancel my order and then just cover it in the 12s. I'm actually going to cover some here at 1290s on SPEA, and then I'm going to save the rest for probably the low 12s or even 11s. I feel like SPEA really has a lot of room to come back down. It started at $10 basically. But what I'd want to see, if this does end up bouncing, I'd want to see it stay heavy under 1350. I really wouldn't want to see it back at 14. So from here, if anyone shorted that, you could probably lower your stop to maybe like this 1370 area and have a tighter stop on the rest. That way you don't give back any profits. Man, OLB is looking pretty strong still. We'll see if it breaks those pre-market highs or not. So this $8, really it was like 770 was a key level in pre-market. That was a support. So if you're looking for a long entry, you'd probably want to wait for that pre-market support level, 870 or 770, and use that kind of as an entry area, and then you can use that also as a risk level. That's kind of how I would have played it on OLB, but I don't have a position on that at the moment, and I really don't want to chase it in the 8s because it could still pull back here. SBEA looking heavy still for now. OCGN, really nice continuation. For those that tuned in pre-market, you know basically why I was bullish on it. Just really nice daily chart pattern, and we still have these levels on the daily from the last big runs that we're coming up to. So 16 was kind of the next big level, and we might even see that today. We'll see. So OLB is starting to pull back a little bit towards that 770, so let's see if that turns into support. But yeah, for those that are tuned in, if you want to see my trades later on that I went over kind of here on this live stream, I'm going to post those in the public Discord later on once I'm done with the trading day. So for those that aren't there, go to the link in the description and you can join the public Discord there. We also have a private Discord room. This is basically what we do is we go over our watch list every morning, and it includes the scans and a lot of other things, the watch list, the commentary. So if you guys want to join that, we do have about 10 discount slots left. So to use that, you just go to our website when you sign up and you use the code NEWSUB, NEWSUB, all in caps. So I'll actually type that in the description for you guys. And I actually put my stop here pretty tight on SBEA on the rest of my shares. I have it at 1350, so I'm just going to have a tight stop on the rest. Hopefully it stays heavy under VWAP though and gives another flush to the downside. OCGN is pulling back really hard here, so be cautious on the long at this point. Got pretty extended and now it's pulling back pretty hard. It still could recover, but definitely want to be really careful at this point. I'm going to start scanning. If you guys see anything else you want me to pull up, just let me know in the YouTube comments. OLB is still holding above 8 so far. And there's the breakout on OLB. That's a good lesson too on just always taking profits in certain places when you're short, and then moving your stop to break even, because these reversals can happen very fast, and if you're not ready, all your profits, unrealized profits, can be gone, really quick, especially on these lower floats. So for those, I like to take profits and then move my stop to break even. But that ended up working out really nicely. I wish I would have taken that long. Really big pullback on OCGN. It's still pulling back towards VWAP now, 1491. I would pretty much consider that a trend break. That was a big trend break for now. As long as it stays heavy, it might bounce off VWAP, but as long as it stays heavy under this 1520 level, this could, start to really break down. For longs, you really need to see this 1520 turn into support again. But yeah, if I was long in OCGN, I would have dumped probably all my shares on that pullback. Or the rest of my shares. OLB, really nice move. Let's take a look at that daily chart again on OLB. So there's not really too many days that had big volume except for this day. Let's see, how much volume did it trade on this day? It did about 20 million. And what are we doing today? Today we're at 39 million. Pretty big rejection of 9 there. That was a pretty heavy pullback. SBEA got really close to stopping me out on that little bounce there. I actually had my stop at 1351 and it didn't trigger. See what happens there. Hopefully I can get this pullback now. I'm pretty sure it's gonna start to fade just based on that last rejection. WIMI is fading lower here. Alright, so I'm gonna let these play out. And let's see if there's anything else forming or setting up. Oh, nice, I got filled. Wait, did I? That's really weird. I should have got filled on that last wick candle in the 12s. For some reason, it's not executing. but I'm just gonna go ahead and take this off here. Car, CAR, someone in chat mentioned that. Thank you, Grubby. Really massive move, and we're actually halted now. On car, let's take a look at the daily chart. This might even be all-time highs. Man, OLB halted to the downside. Took my eyes off that. I was actually thinking of reshorting this just because of that huge rejection. I thought we might get a lower high, but I got kind of sidetracked. But yeah, we have a halt down on OLB. It's hopefully it opens and holds above 8 and gives us a lower high. If it gives us a lower high, I'll probably end up shorting OLB for a second time. Alright, I got my covers in SBEA in the low 12s. It'll probably end up fading even lower to the 11s. All the longs pretty much got dumped on at this point, so I think it's probably going to sell off even lower. But yeah, I didn't even get up to full size on that position. I only had a half size position. I was hoping for a little bit more of a bounce in the 14s to add into and then risk off these highs. But it stayed really heavy. Let's see if OCGN is trying to recover. Still needs to get that 1520 level. BTBT is pushing up a little bit. Looks like CAR is open from its halt. Alright, I think OLB is about to open from its halt. And there it is. It's open now. Let's see if we can push above $8. So far, it's kind of rejecting 8. Crazy move on CAR, still pushing up. We're probably going to get another halt here on CAR. It's really close to halting again. So far, nice rejection of that $8 level on OLB, starting to pull back. LOTZ is on the scans as well. Lots, LOTZ. Pretty big move there from 390 to 440 so far. Pretty big move there on XELB as well. So OLB so far did hold that support. And XCLB is actually halted. We have some big levels in the 3s and 4s on the daily chart, so if XCLB can get extended after this halt, I might be interested in a short on that one. OCGN is starting to retest this 1520 area. Just insane move on CAR. Halted again here at 315. GMBL is also starting to get some volume. A lot of things popping up on the scans. HYRE, pretty nice push here as well. HYRE is actually halted to the upside. We're probably going to halt again here on CAR. Actually, got really close, but not quite. The new halt price is 360.83, which we're testing right now. Alright, there's the halt. OCGN is actually pushing back above that key level that I mentioned, 1520s. We also have HYRE that opened from its halt, pushing towards 950s. A lot of things popping up on the scans right now. Almost too much to put on my screens. AUTO auto is actually halted. And then we have this other stock, TRUE, which is pushing as well. LOTZ is getting a bit more extended, so I'm definitely getting more short bias on that one, the higher it goes. I'm also pretty focused on OLB right now. I want to see if this is going to turn into a breakdown. And there's that reversal on CAR. We're probably going to get a first down halt right now. That's probably going to mark the end of that run. But that was an insane move. All the way from 175 to 375. VWAP is all the way down here at 270. So far, OLB is still holding that support. Nice push there. This 850 is key as well on OLB. And we're about to halt here on OLB, 914. LOTZ is also done. That was a really nice fade. I should have taken that short through 450, but I was just too focused on OLB. crazy move once again on CAR. We're halted again to the upside. Probably trapped a lot more shorts on that last dip. OLB is also still breaking out. Really nice move so far. If you look on the daily on OLB, like I was saying earlier, the only real day that we had before with a lot of volume was this day, where we topped out basically at $16. Right now though, I'm mainly watching this auto. It's getting a little bit extended. If you look at the daily, we're pushing towards 4. Ideally, I'd want this to push higher, more towards like 450 or even 5 for a potential short. But it's looking kind of weak right now. We'll see what happens. I'm still watching that one. I was hoping for the same thing on XELB. I wanted this one to push higher, more towards like 250 or higher on the daily, to potentially give a short setup later on. But that one, as you can see, pulled back really hard. So it looks like it's probably just going to trade sideways or fade back down. So yeah, not too much going on right now on my part. But so far it's been a pretty good morning. I've traded about 3 stocks and I'm green on all of them, so pretty happy with the trades that I took this morning. Although I did give some back on OLB. And then that ended up being a really nice breakout long setup. One thing that really helps is just really paying attention to the volume, because on OLB, if you look at the last volume day we had, like I was saying earlier, it was only trading 20 million in volume that day, and it went all the way to, $16. Today, it's only been an hour since the market opened, and we're already sitting at 87 million. So that is 4 times the amount of volume as last run. So, things like that, when it's doing biggest volume it's ever seen, you can get some wild moves like that. And just as I'm speaking, we got a pretty big pullback there towards 11, but I'm just leaving this one alone for now. But yeah, really good job. There's a lot of people in the private Discord room that nailed it on the long side. I do go long too, but I would say I probably go long 20% of the time, and then the rest is probably 80% short setups that I take. But I think even if you're a long trader, my commentary can really help you out, because I'm going to tell you the key levels that you need to be aware of and that shorts will most likely stop out at. So, it can go both ways. Also, just being a long or being a short helps out with long setups as well, and vice versa. For me, it's just really about knowing what other people are thinking in a lot of these situations, and where they're going to panic, where they're going to stop out, and how you can basically take advantage of other people's mistakes in a way. Nice pullback on auto here. I actually have a short half size position here at 395. I'm trying to get a cover in the 360s, but it still could hold VWAP and then maybe trap and spike later on. I wouldn't rule that out, but I had to take some type of position because it looked like it was topping out here. But I would probably be happier if it ended up reclaiming and really making a bigger move on this daily chart. because then it will just set up for a much bigger move on both sides. So we'll see what happens on this auto. If it does pull back to this 360 level, I'm just gonna cover my short. Um, and then if it ends up reclaiming above 4, I'm gonna stop out of my short and hope that it goes higher, and then I'll probably look for another setup. But I think odds are it's probably gonna pull back to this 360. CAR CAR looks like it's gonna flag and break out again. There it is. So we got new highs on CAR for now. And big rejection of that new high on CAR. Well, B is starting to recover a little bit. We'll see if that one tries to break again or not. Alright, I actually took a little bit of profit on auto here towards this 378 level, just in case it decides to be annoying and then reverse. Um, but the rest, I'll just have a break-even stop, and then I'll aim for the 360s on the rest. We have another one halted as well, OTMO, halted at 596. And OLB is testing this support level. Looks a little bit heavy here. And there's a drop under that support. Alright, so I would definitely be cautious with OLB on the long side at this time. You can see this wedge that formed. We broke that lower trend line and now it's kind of heavy towards this $10. I would say to be open bias again, you'd probably want to see this $11 turn into support. So right now there's really not a lot of support. It's probably going to pull back to VWAP towards $9. Nice move on auto. I got out the rest of my shares break even, so I shorted 395, covered 378, and then I covered the rest. But I'm happy this happened because if it goes higher, it's going to give me a better opportunity later on. I'm keeping auto on watch. OLB is breaking down still. GMBL is starting to go parabolic as well. Beautiful pattern here on OLB. Big dump on auto. That is not really what I wanted to see. I was hoping it would push higher, but we'll see. I'll just set a few price alerts. I'm not going to watch that one too much anymore. Car is just pushing higher, 450s now. Alright guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube public live stream for now, for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I'm going to definitely be doing more of these in the future, so stay tuned for that in pre-market. Also, if anyone wants to join the private Discord room, we do have a few discount slots left. So if you use the code NEWSUB at checkout, you'll get a discount on the monthly membership. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say before I go here. A lot of action today, so especially with the beginning of November. So I'm looking forward to the next few months. It should be pretty action-packed. But yeah, I'm gonna be back probably. I'll probably do another live stream towards the end of the week. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day.